Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what is the difference between volatile and transient keywords in Java? There is no particular difference between the volatile and transient keyword in Java. In fact, volatile and transient keywords in Java programming can be specified before the variables. That is a common point. Okay, the common point between the volatile and transient keywords in Java is these two keywords can be specified before a variable. But what will happen when you specify the volatile keyword before a variable? What will happen when you specify the transient keyword before a variable? The purpose is completely different, guys. If you are able to explain what will happen if you specify the volatile keyword before a variable in Java to the interviewer, then you are able to, this volatile is done. If you are able to answer what will happen if you specify the transient keyword before a variable in Java to the interviewer, then that's the answer for this question, guys. There is not much different because the purpose of this volatile and transient is entirely different from each other. There's no common point except that these two keywords can be specified before the variables. Okay, so if you can explain the purpose of specifying this volatile keyword and transient keyword before the variables, that is the answer for this question, guys. Nothing more than that. Coming to the volatile, guys, let's start with the volatile, then go with the transient, and along with the practical demonstration in this session. First, I'll go with the volatile keyword, guys. So volatile is one of the keywords in Java, guys, that can be specified before the variables, as I told you. Okay. Okay. So for what type of variables, for what variables you will specify volatile keyword in Java? The variables that can be modifiable by multiple threads. If you are working in a multi-threaded environment or multi-threaded application where multiple threads are running simultaneously at the same time they are running and they want to operate a single variable, okay, multiple threads want to operate a single variable. In such kind of cases, we generally specify the variable as volatile case. When multiple threads are working with the same variable, we need to, okay, make sure that changes made by one thread are visible to others. For example, there are 10 threads in a program, 10 threads are doing different activities and they want to work with the same variable. If one of the thread in the 10 threads goes and updates the value of the variable, then remaining threads can see that updated value by the thread one. Remaining 9 threads can see the value that is updated by the first thread. Okay. So that's what is, that's what where you have to specify volatile keyword before the variables for such kind of variables which are operated by multiple threads, which can be modifiable by multiple threads, where one thread makes a changes to the variable, remaining all threads should be able to see that particular change. Okay, such kind of variables in Java in multi-threaded kind of programming, we use volatile keyword case. When a variable is declared as volatile, Java ensures that any read or write to that particular variable, okay, any updates in the form of read or write from that variable is done directly from to the main memory. How this can be possible, guys? How can variable become a common variable for all these multiple threads to get operated where one thread make the changes and the change is visible to all the remaining threads? It's because the ensures that this particular read or write operations of that particular value of the variable is directly done from the main memory. In the main memory, the data of that particular variable will be stored. That access to that main memory, okay, will be there for the threads, multiple threads. That is the reason if any particular thread, if you make it, if any particular variable you specify as volatile, right, that variable will store the value into the main memory from which read and write access will happen so that every thread will have the access and we'll get the update of the latest change that has been done to the value of the variable. Okay, variable's value. That means ensures changes made by one thread are visible to the other threads without additional synchronization. By default, synchronization is there, guys, here. Okay. By default, synchronization is there. You don't have to specially do something so that remaining threads get the latest updated value of the variable. Okay. So since in the memory is main memory, guys, main memory, in the main memory, the value of this particular variable specified with volatile keyword will be saved, and hence multiple threads can operate on the same variable which is specified as volatile, and any changes done to that particular variable by a thread is visible to the other threads. Okay, okay, is visible to the other threads without any extra settings or extra calls or methods to be called. Okay, directly by default it can be done. Let me give an example of this volatile case, which is very easy. Okay, I'll just give you an example of the volatile. I'll just close this and go here and simply I'll just create. Here already many packages are there. I'll create one more package, guys. Okay. I'll just create a new package, just some random package, guys, nothing much. Volatile, and transient. Like this, I'll create a package name, some random package name. Under this package name, I'm going to create a new class. I'll just name this class as volatile demo. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate this keyword known as volatile keyword by writing this particular code, guys. Okay, so volatile demo. Okay, this main method is there. That's okay. Leave it. And here I'm going to create another class, guys. Inside the same Java file, I'm going to create another class, guys. For example, I'm going to create a class like car class. Okay, I'm creating a car class. Inside this car class, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a variable, guys, string color. Just create a variable like private string color, guys. Okay, and I'll make this particular variable as volatile. Like this, we have to add, guys. Okay, volatile keyword before the particular variable, we have to add private volatile name of before this particular variable added volatile, guys. I'll create some methods here like public void set color. Okay, set method. So here I'll simply say this dot set color, and I'll get the color here string color. This dot color is equal to color. I'll say this dot color is equal to color, and similarly the updated color you want to access. Let's say it's a sample program, guys. Here, for example, this kind of particular code you are using in a multi-threaded environment. Okay, the updated value of this particular variable, volatile specified variable, will be visible to remaining threads, guys. Okay, the same this particular code that I am writing here is being run in a multi-threaded way. Okay, the value that is updated for this particular color, okay, by one thread will be visible to other threads because this particular value of this particular volatile variable will be stored in a main memory, which is common for all the threads. Okay, that's what is the context. Here get color is very simple program, guys. Get color, and here it's going to return color, guys. Return the color that got updated, and here the return type will be string. That's okay. Now here write the code, guys. Once this is how we have to use a volatile keyword before the variables, guys. And this particular method, this particular keyword will make this particular variable as this particular volatile will make this particular variable common kind of thing for all the threads in multi-threaded programming. Okay, now here I'm going to create an object for the car class. Let's say car1 is equal to car c1 is equal to, otherwise car c1 is equal to new car, like this. Okay, and I'm going to set the color now. C1 dot set color. I'm going to set the color, guys. C1 dot set color, and here I have to give some color like black color. Okay, and now I want to get the color system dot out dot println C1 dot get color. Okay, the color will be retrieved. Okay, this is a program that anyone can write, guys. This is a program that anyone can write. Okay, the program that anyone can write. Only the thing is that you have to understand the basics here, guys, how to use a volatile keyword for that purpose. But this particular volatile keyword, when used with multi-threaded programming, right? Okay, will any changes that happen to the value of this particular variable, right, will be visible to the remaining threads. Okay, if you are using this particular program in a multi-threaded environment, any changes happen to this value of this particular variable will be visible to the remaining threads because this particular variable is specified with the volatile keyword. Run this code, guys, and you will see that the black color will be printed in the output. And that's the only thing. Even though you use volatile, it is going to work fine, and you'll get the black kind of color printed in the output console. Okay, this is how we can use volatile keyword in Java programming. If you want to take a screenshot, guys, take a screenshot, and okay. So that's all about the volatile related stuff, guys. This how you can explain the volatile, okay, keyword. And coming to the next one, that is a transient. I gave you the example, guys. I'll just copy paste this example for you. Copy paste this in the notes. I'll just provide this as part of the notes so that okay, some demonstration of how to use a volatile keyword. And in multi-thread, the concept is more, guys, than the practical demonstration of how to use a volatile keyword. The concept is very important here, that volatile will make this particular variable common for all the threads, so that if any changes are done by one thread to this particular variable mentioned as volatile will be visible. That latest change will be visible to the remaining things because the particular value of that particular volatile variable will be stored in the main memory. Okay, directly accessed from the main memory instead of the threads, individual threads local memory. The value of this particular variable specified as volatile will be stored in the main memory instead of the individual threads local cache or something. Okay, that's what is volatile, guys. Now let's move on to the next one, guys. what will happen if you specify this transient keyword before a variable in Java? Let's understand here. The purpose is completely different from the volatile, guys. There is no, the question is there like this, but you have to ultimately explain the what is the purpose of the transient. You don't have to worry about comparing volatile with transient here in this case of answering this question. So transient is a keyword in Java used to indicate that a variable should not be serialized. Okay, transient is a keyword that is specified before a variable in Java to indicate that that particular variable should not be serialized. Okay, why we have to serialize, you have to understand. Okay, here the concept is that you are specifying the transient keyword before a variable, okay, whose value should not get serialized. But why we generally in Java programming go for serialization or deserialization? If you want to convert the object into some byte code for transferring purpose, if you want to store that particular object in your machine, a particular Java object, if you want to store in your machine, right, that object has to be converted to the byte code. Okay, while converting that into the byte code, okay, you don't want this particular this particular process of converting the object to the byte code to store in a database or your computer machine or wherever the file or something, right? This process is called as serialization. During this process, the variables that are specified with transient keyword, those values of those variables will not be stored in that bytecode. Okay. During the serialization process, storing will not happen, guys. Storing will not happen. Remaining all other variables which are not specified with the transient keyword, uh, okay, they will be converted into the bytecode and their values will be stored in the, we can retrieve them later after storing into the computer memory or into the database or whatever, the text files, etc. But the variables which are specified with the transient keyword, those values are not generally stored. Even though you do serialization, right, during the conversion process, storage will not happen. Okay, so I'll give you one example, guys. Okay, I'll give you one examples. That is, here is one example. Sometimes you don't want certain fields to be saved to the disk during serialization. That is by converting the object to the bytecode to store into your local machine or your computer or your database or some text file, right? The sensitive information like password should not be stored into your computer, okay, from that particular program, let's say, okay, during the serialization process of converting the object into the bytecode, okay. So it's a very difficult, typical topic, but try to understand. I'll try to give more examples, guys, okay. Imagine of a toy box. Okay, there is a box containing. Let's say you went to a shop and there is a box with a lot of toys. Like in that particular box, right? Some 3 to 4 toys will be there. Let's assume that. Okay, it's a collection of toys. You can purchase that box so that you can get all the 3 toys or 4 toys together. Now, in that one of the toy is a secret toy. Okay, so remaining 3 toys are, oh, okay. Okay, you can share when you take a picture of that toys, right? One surprise toy or secret toy is there that you don't want to reveal to others. Let's say, okay, you brought that particular toy box to your home, and you have taken a picture, and now your, let's say your kid want to share that particular toys with his friend over the phone or something by sending the picture over the WhatsApp. Your kid want to take a photo, but you don't want your kid, let's say your kid don't want to say that this particular toy exists with him, only with his friend. You want to share only 3 toys, the other type don't want to share in that particular photo, okay, due to some XYZ reasons, whatever it may be. So in that case, what your kid will do, while taking the picture, for 3 toys, he will not cover. For example, if there are 4 toys, in that 3 toys can be visible. Let's say one toy, he don't want to show to the friend. In that case, what he will hide that. Okay, he'll put inside a paper or something. He'll wrap it, and only the remaining 3 toys he'll take the picture and share, so that the other kid will only see 3 toys in that box. The 4th toy is hidden from the other person. This kind of structure, guys. Okay, the photo will be taken, but after taking the photo, right, the photo will not contain 4 toys. It will contain 3 toys displayed, and the 4th toy will not be captured by the photo. Okay, captured by the camera. Okay, so like that kind of stuff, guys. There are some you see, username can be displayed, but password cannot be displayed, right? So when you are storing such kind of objects into the bytecode you're converting the objects into the bytecode to store such kind of data of your program in your computer machine or database or something, right? You have some sensitive information that you don't want that to be stored in your wherever that you want to store. In such cases, you specify the transient keyword before that particular variable, so that even though the serialization happens where object get converted into the bytecode, the values of only the variables which are not provided with transient will be stored in that particular machine, or will be converted and stored in your laptop or machine, or database or some text files, etc., or any files. But the sensitive information like passwords will not be converted will not be serialized basically. Okay, they will be avoided from serialization process. So here let's take the example of the toy box, where toy box, some object is there, some toys, some variables are there. Okay, some picture serialization. Okay, toy box is the object, and then toys are the variables, and picture is the serialization process. You want to take the picture of not all the toys, but only whatever the favorite toys are there that you want to, but one toy you don't want to take the picture of. Okay, take a picture without secret node. One of the toy here is a secret node kind of toy. That secret node you don't want to share, let's say. So when you take a picture, you will hide the secret node and take the picture of the toys. Okay, remaining toys except the secret node, for example. Okay, so I'll show you guys how to do this in practical way. For now, theoretically I tried my level best in explaining the transient keyword, when to use and all. Okay, during the serialization process, you have to understand serialization, de-serialization. De-serialization is a process. Serialization is the process of converting the object to the bytecode. Okay, to store the data into your computer or database or files or etc. Where deserialization is a reverse process of extracting that data from your computer database or text files back into your program. Okay, back into your program, whatever the data that is stored in your machine or computer machine or database or some files, right? That you need to retrieve them back to your program, to access to your program. That is called as deserialization. During that, if a particular field like password variable is specified with transient, during the serialization process, it will not be converted to the bytecode and stored in your machine. In that case, when you do deserialization, there's no possibility of getting that particular non-serialized variable like password, right? Will not get password stored, so that you cannot retrieve also. That I want to prove you here. That I want to show you here, guys. First, for this, guys, I need to create a class, guys. I need to create a class here. The same toy example I'll take. I'll just try to demonstrate. Just see whatever I'm trying to demonstrate. Just see, guys. So this kind of concepts are very complex, guys. It's very rare that you expect this kind of questions in the interview. But if you're able to answer to some extent, also interviewer will get impressed by your answer. Okay, this much of knowledge this guy has, you will definitely come to know if this kind of question comes. Transient, right? Transient demo. Transient demo. That can be this, or transient also is a keyword, another keyword in Java that can be specified before the variable. So I'll just create one more class here known as class toy box implements serialization. Here I already have the code, guys. Serializable is okay interface. Serializable. I'll try my level best. In may not be correct in spelling. Serializable. I think I gave the correct spelling only. Hover the mouse. Import this from java.io package. Once you make this particular any of the class in Java, implement serializable, guys. The object of this particular class can be serialized. Okay, the object, if you create an object for this class, you can serialize this particular object. Okay, then only normal classes which are not implementing the serializable interface, they cannot be serialized, guys. They cannot be converted from the object to the byte code. Okay, for transferring purpose. But if a particular class is there that implements a serializable interface, that means the object of that particular class can be serializable and deserializable. Okay, that is possible. Here, what I will do here is I'll just create some 3 toys kind of stuff, guys. Like this private string. First toy is like teddy bear. Let's say teddy bear. Okay, I'm just copy pasting anyhow. That's okay. Concept is very important, guys, rather than what is the example. String. Another toy. Let's say robot toy is there. Robot string robot toy is there. Another toy is like private string. I told you, right? One toy is like secret node toy is there. Secret node that should not be shared. Let's say. Okay, this should not get serializable. Remaining 2 variables you want to serialize. In that case, if you're creating an object for the class toy box class, and if you serialize all these variables, data will get serialized and stored in the computer machine. But you want to exempt this particular variable from getting serialized. So in that case, you have to add a keyword known as transient keyword. Transient keyword. Okay. In that case, the remaining 2 variables data only will be converted to the bytecode to store in the whatever the place like machine, computer machine, or database, or any files. But this particular variable cannot be serialized because you specially mentioned the keyword known as transient, so that this variable is special variable and cannot be serialized or deserialized due to its sensitive nature or something. It cannot be serialized or deserialized. Okay, let's assign some values to this, guys. Let's assign some values to this. Like for example, I'll create a constructor. You can create some getter, and it's better that constructor is easy, guys. Okay, so create a constructor. How to create a constructor? Public. To initialize this particular variables, I'll create a constructor, guys. Okay, toy box, and here I'll write string teddy bear, comma string teddy bear, comma string robot, comma string secret node, which should not be serialized. We can store, we can initialize that, but we should not be able to store during the serialization process, or that's the process. Okay, so this dot teddy bear is equal to this teddy bear I'll give, and then put a semicolon here, and this dot, what is the next one, guys? This dot robot is equal to robot, let's say, and this dot secret node is equal to secret node. Like this, I'll give the initialization I'll do. And after that, to retrieve this particular data, right? To retrieve this particular data, I'll use getter methods. I'll just go here and go to source here and simply write down override generate getter and setter methods for whom? For these three variables, I would like to generate the set. I don't want, because already setting is being done by the constructor. Only get I want. This is the easiest way, guys, okay, to generate them. You don't have to write any code. You see, automatically it's generated, the setter methods. That's it, guys. The code is, we created a class. Now let's create an object that need to be converted to the bytecode as part of the serialization, guys. We need to serialize the toy box by converting the object to the bytecode. For that, first we need to create an object for the toy box class, which is implementing the serializable interface. So toy box is equal to new toy box, and you have to pass the, while calling this constructor, you have to pass all these three details like teddy bear details, okay, comma, here, write these values, and what type of fluffy is one example, and super robot is super robot, and secret node is my secret node. Okay, like this, some three sample that I'm passing here. Now I want to serialize this particular object, guys. I want to serialize this particular object. How to serialize the toy box? Like in the example I told you, right? Taking the picture except that variable which is of specified with the toy, which is kind of secret toy kind of stuff. Okay, that should be hidden. Okay, by sharing in the photo. Okay, should not be captured. Serialization is a process of converting an object into a stream of bytes. The stream can be saved. The stream of bytes can be saved to a, okay, sorry, it's the bytecode I was saying from the initial. It is a stream of bytes containing, zero and ones and kind of stuff. Okay, that can be stored in your computer machine or database or something. The stream can be saved to a file. This stream can be saved to a file, sent over a network, or stored in a database. Okay, this is a serialization process, right? Converting the object into a transferable format by converting that into machine level code, like series of stream of bytes or something like that. Okay, so that you can save that information, save that particular object in the stream of bytes format into a file or a network or your computer or a database. Okay, or network you can transfer also. Save the state of the toy box. Okay, during the serialization process, after converting the object into stream of bytes, it will be saved. It will save the state of the toy box in the form of object converted to stream of bytes. It will save the state. But during the saving the state, right, all the variables except the variable that is specified with transient keyword will not be saved. The state of the transient specified variable will not be saved. Remaining normal variables state will be saved into the stream of bytes format. Okay, so how to do that? How to do the serialization process for a particular object here? File out, create an object for the file output stream, guys. File output stream FOS is equal to new file output stream. Like this, create an object for the file output stream. Control Shift O. File output stream will be imported, and the constructor cannot be empty, guys. Here we have to pass here to the file output stream. You have to pass here in double quotes. You pass toy box dot. If you want to serialize, you have to write SER. Okay, this is how you have to pass. Ignore the exception, guys. You can implement try-catch block in real time, but that will make the program complex. I'm just writing like that. Okay, this is a process of serialization, guys. Here the object is getting converted to the that is stream of bytes. Okay, bytes like zeros and ones, whatever it is. And then we have to create an object for the object output stream, guys. Object output stream for writing purpose, for saving purpose. Object output stream OOS is equal to new object output stream. Okay, then FOS I have to give here, I think so. Let's try this. Control Shift O, I'll say, and ignore this exception, possibility of the exception. And after that, use this OOS output stream dot write method. You call the write method, and you just give this object as a toy box. Okay, write object. You have to, instead of write, you have to use write object. Which object you want to store? Write object. This toy box object you want to store. Toy box object you want to store. That you have to give. Okay, this is what is the way of this is a serialization process, guys. After getting serialized, guys, I want to deserialize. How to deserialize, guys? Deserializing the toy box is like looking at the picture where all the toys will be visible, that except that toy which is hidden, that won't be visible. Deserialization is the process of converting the stream of bytes that got saved back into the copy of the original object, converting that stream of bytes back to the object type. Okay. When you load the toy box from the saved state, the secret node is missing. Okay. Secret node will not be stored, guys. This floppy teddy super robot will be stored, but the secret will not be stored. Okay. The reason behind that is during the serialization process, okay, only the variables which are not specified with transient will be stored. So their state will be stored, but remaining will not be stored. So here for this deserialization, we have to use file input. For serialization, we have used file output stream, right? For deserialization, we have to use file input stream. Give me a second. So let's use this file input stream here. For this is a serialization process of converting the object to the series of byte. Okay, series of bytes. Okay, that is stream of bytes. Now convert the stream of bytes back to the object. Okay, for that we have to use file input stream. Actually, file input stream FIS is equal to new file input stream. Again, for the deserialization process, give the object that is a toy box object and say SCR here again. Put a semicolon, Control Shift O. Yeah, that is done. But the next step, then here we have to write create an object for the here object output stream for serialization, right? Here we have to write object input stream. For deserialization, we have to write object for reading purpose. We have to write object input stream OIS is equal to new object input stream of FIS. Okay, stream of FIS we have to give file input stream. Control Shift O. That is also done. Now OIS dot, what is the next line, guys? Okay, OIS dot read object. Here write object, right? Here we have to use read object. Here we are saving the state of that particular object. Okay, all the variables of that particular object. Here we are reading the state of that particular object. Okay, dot read object of the same read object. That's it. Okay, it actually includes, and it will return you. Ignore the exception, guys. The return type of this read object will be what? The return type of this read object will be what? Object. Okay. So here we have to, it will be returning object, but we have to convert it into the toy box and return, guys. Toy box class return type, convert that object type into the toy box type, and then here return that. How to return that? Here you can mention loaded toy box. Loaded toy box is equal to the return type will be toy box now. Done. Now using this, you try to access this methods, get teddy bear, get robot, get secret node. You try to access. Okay, system.out.println, loaded toy box. After serialization and deserialization, you call these methods to get teddy bear. Okay, system.out.println, loaded toy box got what is that next one, guys? Get robot, then system.out.println, loaded toy box dot get secret node. For these two things, you will get the value printed in the output, guys, but except for secret node, because it is specified with here it is specified with transient keyword, because of which it will not be deserialized, and when you deserialize also, it will not be able to access. So storing will not happen, and because of which null value will come. In place of that, null value will come fluffy, super, and for transient keyword specified variable, right? You got the null because it will not allow you to serialize or deserialize. Okay. So this is a program, guys. Is an entire program that you can practice, guys. Is an entire program that you guys can practice. Okay, to understand the concept of this transient keyword specifying before a variable. Okay, I don't know whether I can, I'll just do one thing. I'll just copy this code. Final code I'll write here. Here I'll write final code. In the notes you will have final code, and I'll just provide this here final code, and it will be there here. And along with that, I want you to take a screenshot, guys. Okay, take a screenshot of this particular code of this transient demo class having the main method. Hope you have taken the screenshot of this. Now take the screenshot of this toy box code where one of the variable is specified as transient. This is the code. Now try to practice in your machine, guys, the transient. Similarly, also take the screenshot of this volatile demo. Okay, take the screenshot of this particular program also. Hope you have taken the screenshot of this code and you will practice in your machine. So with practical demonstration, guys, with practical and theoretical demonstration, theoretical explanation, I've answered properly what is the difference between volatile and transient in Java. These keywords can be used before variables. That is a common point, but there is no particular difference, guys. But the question is framed like that. So we just have to give the purpose of this volatile. What will happen if you specify volatile keyword before a variable? What will happen when you specify the transient keyword before a variable? If you can explain these concepts with some writing some logic and all, right, the interviewer will definitely get impressed, okay, with your answer, because it's not a general thing that everyone knows. It's a complex thing that very few people knows. Okay, so hope guys you got the answer for this question. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye.